Fuck. That is fucking frustrating. Record when I think about you recording me. We gotta be telepathically connected, you and me, camera. I recorded something, but it didn't do anything, which was frustrating. All right. All that silliness for nothing. All right. So, today, I recently decided to help. I wrote notes, and I'm not used to reading from notes. So this is going to be a bit weird. Recently, I decided to create a plan to help you guys live passionate life. Unchain your passions and live a fulfilling life. A set of rules to help you stay on track and carpe diem every DM. I call it the Explorer's Code. Video number 1 was yesterday. Video overview of all of the Explorer's Code and then some of the thoughts behind it. That was 2 days ago. Links in the descriptions, or link in the description, because if you haven't seen those, start with the overview. Start with that one. Yeah, fuck it, I'll put both of them in. But start with the overview, that's number 1, and then go to rule number 1, and then go to this one. So if this is the first one you've seen, then go to the overview, and then go to number 1. So today is code. Today I need to speak English and learn a little bit more. Do some speaking exercises. Today is code number 2. I plot and follow my own course. But what does that mean? Most of us go through life doing what we think other people want for us, whether it's our parents, whether it's society, whether, one thing that for me, I love sex. And for a long time, even when I was taking action to build an awesome sex life, I was letting what society thought about that influence my action. Now, of course, you need to make sure that you and her, or him or whatever, I don't give a fuck, are both enjoying it. But aside from it being consensual, mutually enjoyable experience, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So that was one of the things that I realized, was that I was letting what society told me I should be or should do or should think or should feel, letting that affect the way that I lived my life. I didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted, and that allowed the outside world to influence me in certain ways. So that's what it is about. It's about being very clear about what you want and then carving your own path to it. Because even when you achieve things that you're doing for some other person's reasons, whether your parents want you to be a lawyer or a doctor, and you've achieved being a lawyer or a doctor, there is never, it's never fulfilling. There's a hilarious, I'll link it below. It's a Saturday Night Live skit that's hilarious with Benedict Cumberbatch and Chad. And Benedict Cumberbatch is it's hilarious. I don't know how much I want to say, because I'll leave it a little bit mysterious. But he's a professor that is confiding in Chad, and he makes a move on him during office hours, and then just kind of dumps all his emotional baggage on him. And it's pretty hilarious. But it has to do with, even when you achieve something that you've done for somebody else's reasons, it's never fulfilling. And in fact, it's quite frustrating, because you want to feel fulfilled, finished, you want to feel whole, but you never do. You feel empty, and that frustrates you, and then you want to keep going, but it's never going to fill you, because you're not doing it for your reasons. You're doing it to please them, or to not be bad, and that's not a good reason to do anything. So, and one of the other things is, you have to live life for you, But even if you choose a path that others choose too, like if, for instance, if you want to be a successful software developer, well, a lot of other people are and want to be successful software developers. That's fine. Your path can be the same as a lot of other people's paths, but it's still your path. There's a really good story, a little fable I will tell you. This is a fable of Arab descent somewhere in the Middle East, it was said. There's a kid, right? Now it's hot over there, and a lot of people don't want to carry their things, so they use camels. It's sandy. We have the cloaks to keep the sand out of your face, and we have a kid and a father. Now the kid's riding the donkey, and the father's pulling the donkey, and they're going from the market back home with a lot of things that they bought, food, supplies, water, things like that. So they're going home with a lot of things on the camel's back, including the kid. The father's leading it with the rope. And they pass this guy, and this guy says, whoa, hold up. What's going on here? Father, why are you leading the camel? You should have your son lead the camel so he learns responsibility. He learns how to give back to the community and how to feed in, how to help his father with the duties of the household so that he can grow up to be a responsible man. And the father's like, you know what? That makes sense. I understand. Son, get down here and lead the camel. I'll go on the camel's back. Son's like, okay, Dad. And the stranger bids adieu. Although they didn't say adieu back then, because in that part of the world, because they said other things. Probably said, I don't know what they said. But they said something. Said some kind of goodbye. We're going to translate it. They said goodbye. And they kept going, and the son's leading the father. And, it's hot. It's sandy. They're both wanting to be home. And actually all three of them, the camel wants to be home too. And they come across another guy, and the other guy's like, whoa, why are you on top of the camel's back? The camel's already carrying a bunch of stuff. Like, you should both be leading the camel, or the camel's going to get tired, and he's not going to be able to get home. You already have a bunch of water and food on the camel's back. What are you doing to the camel? Father's like, okay, well, that makes sense. Son, I'm going to go down there and help you. And he hops off the camel. And he goes and joins his son. They both take turns guiding the camel. And they're walking, they're guiding the camel. The camel is trailing behind them, and they're leading it with all their food and water on it. And it's hot, and it's sandy. And another guy comes along, and he's like, whoa, why are you guys walking? How often do you go to the market? Are you going to be able to go back to the market if your feet are all blistery? What are you doing? You bought a camel for a reason. Why are you not using it? You got your stuff on there, but you gotta yourself be refreshed when you get home. You can't be like all sweaty, and it takes time out of your day to clean up your feet. And you guys should both be on that camel. Get up there. And father's like, okay, well, I understand that. It makes sense. Him and his son go back on the camel, and they get on going. It's hot, it's sandy. Everybody's tired. Everybody wants to go home, although the father and the son are resting a little bit now that they're on the camel. And they're pretty close. They have a stranger, and the stranger comes along, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? You're giving that camel a hard time. But your son did a lot of work today, and you should let your son rest a little bit. Why don't you lead the camel, father, and the son can rest? And the father's like, okay, sure. He gets off, and they walk the rest of the way home like that, which is coincidentally exactly how they started. Now, let me just check this to make sure it's recording. Good. I'd be so frustrated if that wasn't recording. Moral of the story is, people have their own reasons and intentions for offering things, and they have their own experience. Now, I 100% appreciate and suggest modeling mentors, modeling people, learning from people who are on the same path or further along the same path than you are. but it's your path. You've decided to model them, and you can start and stop whenever you like. That's something that is really important to understand when it comes to carving your own path. I plot and follow my own course is the rule. But when it comes to carving your own path, you can choose to follow others at parts of your journey, but it's always your choice. And you should also decide on the end goal yourself. The end goal needs to come from within you. That is the most important part. Now, parts of the path, you can emulate others' paths. You can follow maps that others have charted. That's 100% fine. At times, you have to make it your own journey. You have to follow the people that you like, maybe take from a bunch of people, or maybe do all of it yourself or some of it yourself. That's a decision that you can make, and there's pluses and minuses to all that. But the end goal, where you're going, 100% needs to be just your decision. So that's the essence of Explorer's Code number 2. I plot and follow my own course. Thank you for watching. Number 3 will come out tomorrow. And yeah, subscribe if you want to get the minute 1. As you've seen, I do a video every single day. It's not easy. But if you want to get it minute 1, all this content to help you unchain your passions and live a fulfilling life, subscribe and hit the bell so you get it minute 1. Cheers, auf Wiedersehen, and adieu.